Alright, I think we've got this going. I think I'll just disable my VTuber model because she's lagging out. Yeah, she's lagging. That's better. Anyway, hello, I guess I'll just call you Etched Horizon, here in the chat, but I'm doing good. How are you? Oh, well, hello, Leo. Glad that's okay. There we go, I've got Fire Alpaca open. Alright. This is what I will go back to working on after I do my little hair tutorial. No, don't open. That's fine. And, ooh, yikes. College class sucks. That, at least I assume so. I hope it's going well. I hear you're doing, you know, black magic to work on stuff. Pretty cool. But anyway, since you are the one who's asked for a hair tutorial, I'll do character's hair just for you. So first I'm just gonna kind of do a very simple face. Gotta get that anime inspiration in here, you know? Why am I caring so much about this sketch? I shouldn't. There we go. Okay. Weird wonky head done. And, I think that's all cool. Sorry, I gotta check the chat every few minutes because it's not, like, actively up on my screen. So I won't immediately reply. But anyway, Leo, I totally get that. Hair is difficult to do, but I'll help you out. I've got some shortcuts. I like how you shade it and everything, it's great for comics, but I understand. Alright. I'll make this easier for you guys to see. I was recommended to do this, because gray is easier to, an easier background to see things on than white, apparently. Like, it's better on your eyes, at least. I'm gonna just transparent that just a little bit. Alright, so let's do some hair. For the sake of this, I'm just gonna do, like, shoulder length. I always do, like, bangs first. I just kind of, like, do that. And the side things. Just do kind of whatever you want for them. I don't know what I'm gonna do specifically. Probably straight bangs. This'll be easy to do. By the way, the brush I'm using for this is pen. I love pen. It's what I use for basically everything. Pretty fun. So when I draw hair, I just kind of map out a shape, let my brush move where it feels natural to move, all that stuff. And sometimes the natural movement does not feel right, so I'll redo it, like what you see me doing right now. Or it doesn't look right, you know. There we go. Alright, I guess we're going with short hair today. And then, easy thing to do, I'm just gonna kinda inverse my selection. This is just making it easier for me to do my thing. Oh no, it crashed. It'll be okay. It should have saved. Okay, there we go. Whatever, that's fine. There we go. It doesn't like me using the magic wand tool. Now inverse my selection. So I just like to get a kind of base color going. Pink is always a very good option. That way, like my bottommost layer is easy to just kind of do clipping masks on. It's hard to explain, but that's what I do. I'm a terrible teacher, my apologies, but I'm doing my best. Anyway, go. I just have to get this base out before I can show you more detailed side of this. And yeah, sketching low opacity 3-pixel airbrush sounds really good for sketches. I think that's pretty cool. Alright. So, what color hair should she have? I'm always defaulting to orange because it's my favorite color. Oh. Make that a clipping mask. So I'm just gonna do that. And then you know the drill. Erase wherever it goes over where it should be, yada yada yada. Right, and then just a little bit right here. There we go. Okay. So now we have the hair, the base, all of that. Pretty cool, right? Now I'm gonna turn this clipping layer, I'm gonna put it in a folder, and I'm changing the folder to a clipping layer. Kind of complicated. You'll see why I'm doing this here in a second. I'm gonna add a new layer, and that's automatically a clipping layer for the hair. I'm gonna call this hair base. Hair. Oh. Now hair base has a layer on it that's blank. I'm gonna start with shading, so just the darker parts of the hair. There's lots of ways to do that. I like to kind of get a different hue and a little darker. So let's see how a red will look on this. There we go. Now I'm gonna use this red in the back. This is that's kind of a harder shading. Then I add multiply, tone down the opacity, maybe overlay will do something cool. So this feels a little too vibrant. I think darken works at a 53 opacity. That's pretty cool. And then I'm gonna shade the edges of the bangs, yada yada. And at the sides of the head, kind of where the hair dips down. Hard to explain, but there you go. So there's like a really basic shade, and I might add a second layer of shading. Shading 2. I like to just keep doing that until it's adequate to me. Airbrush is your friend when you don't want to be high res with the details. It kind of gives the illusion of depth. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. And it doesn't look very good as it is now, but when you play with the opacity and blending options, it gets really good. if you keep it just as it is, it looks really kind of... I say amateurish just because I see lots of nude artists do that. Not that I'm not an amateur. But yeah. Look at that. And then you can also play with the blending options for this one. I'm choosing darken again and turning down blending options so that it's like not too out there. And then just kind of sharpening shadows. If you want, you can do that. You don't have to. If you're using an airbrush, try to use a soft eraser. And again, this is just my opinion. You can do it however you wish, because you're your own artist and you can do great. But I'm already making it more depth. And also a clipping layer. Sorry, I should have explained what that is. Here, let me make a little thing in the corner for y'all. So let's say I have a square over here. And I want to color only the square. This bluish shade, let me get that. And I color on a different layer, so this is square layer. And then paint layer. So I can scribble all over this. Oh, my computer's starting to lag out. It's not liking me too much. But I can scribble all over it. And it gets out of the lines. That sucks. I want it to be in the line, but I don't want to take out time to go through every edge, all that. Fill tool, that can work too. But this is way more precise. You see over here, it says clipping right above the paint layer. And right under blending option, you click that, and whatever's on the layer that is clipped will only go onto the layer below it, if that makes sense. So whatever's drawn on the layer below, it will cover that, but it won't go out of those bounds. It's really useful when you're shading, when you're just trying to make things work like that. And then, yeah, and then turn off clipping, and it's a mess. Clipping, no clipping, clipping, no clipping. And here's clipping, and I can, if I turn off the clipped layer, it goes back to white. If I turn off the layer that it's clipped onto, though, both of them disappear. It's basically a clipped layer is a cover for the layer below it. Not all the layers below it, but the one directly below it. And then, let's say I wanted to add another quote-unquote coat of paint to the square. Like, I like that it's blue, but I also want to add some pink. I can do that. I make another clipping layer just on top of the blue one. And yeah, but look, I can unclip it, and it's also a mess. Clip it, unclip it. I hope that at least shows, like, what a clipping layer does. But anyway, I should have told you that. And yes, it only affects the layer below. You can mess with blending options as well. Clipping layers basically keep everything within the bounds you drew already. But yeah, manipulating layers is so fun once you get it down. And it's not super hard. It's really difficult to grasp whenever you're just listening to someone talk about it. But it's real good. Now, I'm just gonna go back to this guy, and I'm adding some solid shadows. Like, these shadows are not gonna be airbrushed. I'm just deciding, like, yeah, it's kind of like cell shading, but not completely. Maybe my stabilize is too high. That's better. Now this is kind of sloppy. I'm not really zooming in a bunch, and I should be, but that's okay. There we go. Here we are. There. And you kind of just mess with it. Make it however you like. Sometimes I'll take a soft eraser to the edges. So like, it's still hard lines, but parts of them kind of fade. Not all of it, just a bit. One of my huge suggestions for anyone that's shading anything is don't use black. Use any color but black. Black's fine, but I recommend trying to find a different color. It adds more vibrance to your piece. So I'm using blue for these harder shading parts, and I can use multiply, and it turns like this blackish color. But messing with the opacity, just, I don't know. I like it. Overlay, that's a good one too. I'm gonna go, I think I'll go with multiply. There we go. So we're basically done with the shading, you know? I'm gonna do highlights next. Now typically I kind of go for a way lighter shade of whatever the base hair color is, and I'm gonna find like a line like that, but use your airbrush because that's what I meant to do. There we go. So you've got that, you make that add, and you just like heavily take down the opacity. And then you can keep doing this as much as you want on individual areas. Like I can add it to just these strands, maybe erase around them so it doesn't affect the shaded areas. There we go. See, that's nice. Change it to add, turn it down, affect, like erase a little more so it's not too out there. There we go. And then let's add some more, just kind of to the sides. Add, and then take it down. So it's already earning some more depth, in my opinion at least. I'm gonna do this again, same color, everything. Just kind of following this. Oof. Please work. I'm trying to get the angle correct. There we go, that's pretty good. Add again. Take the tone, like, opacity way down. And then kind of erase edges where it doesn't need to be there. Maybe cut it in the middle. Stuff like that. Look at that beauty. I love it. And then under the layer that's brightest, I'll add a layer that is white. And I'm gonna use the pen tool again, just make a solid thing like this. Just kind of straighten it out, curve it, whatever you need it to be. Kind of make it go with the movement of the hair in a three-dimensional space, if that makes sense. So the hair would kind of go out in an arc. So I'm making this arc a bit. Then after you have that, you start erasing parts of the white line. You don't want it to be solid, you know. You kind of want to make little arcs. Very anime inspired, honestly, but most of my art is anime inspired, I mean. And then you just kind of keep doing that for the whole piece of hair, pieces, whatever you want to call it. It's best to do this on the bangs, in my opinion. Change it to add, and then you just take it down to, like, the lowest you can. You can even turn off add. Let me see if overlay. Overlay can also work. This part's honestly really optional. You don't have to do that part. But yeah. And then I go over, again, just like very small strands of hair. So I'll go like, just where there'd be like specific highlights, usually around the center line, this thing that I drew around the hair earlier. I kind of like, I follow the line, but I do it around the edges and close to my like hard line. Also, give me 1 second, I will be right back. And yeah, white would be hard to do, but I'll address that here in a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, I have returned. Let's get back to this. Okay, so that's basically how I do all the highlights for the hair. Now if I want to add more texture, I go below the shading, add another clipping layer, and for this I'm going to use a custom brush someone made called Thin Grass. It's supposed to be for grass, but I use it for hair. If you can find a brush that kind of does... Oh, that's not what I meant. There we go. Here, I'll make it larger. This kind of effect. Something that's like a bunch of lines, maybe a bit crazy, that's okay. It helps make texture. Let me see if there's any other. Another one you can use, it doesn't look like hair, but it's stylized. Canvas pencil, that comes with Fire Alpaca. This one doesn't work very well. Flat brush, that's a good one. You just kind of have to mess with it so that it does work for you, because lots of these things will not by themselves. Where is it? I'm sure there's at least one more. Maybe not. But anyway, find a brush that kind of has that effect where you can easily make like the row of lines, I'd say, that kind of follows your pen. But anyway, I go right below all of the shading and I just kind of start adding it. This can be black, it doesn't have to be. I prefer not to use the color black, but for this, I think I'll go with a really dark red-brown. And then I just kind of start adding it to the very edges. Gives the effect of it being like real-ish hair. And make sure you move the way the hair locks would be. And then you just kind of outline the areas that are shaded with this, and it'll give a bit of an illusion that it's real hair. Just find a brush that works for you with your art style, and you do that. Mess with the opacity, as always. Look at that gorgeous hair. I love that. And oh, hi Shintani. Nice to meet you. I believe you are not typically in my streams. Well, it's nice to see you. And Leo, my friend, I will send you the link for the brush download. But there are plenty of free ones out there, definitely. But anyway, let's say the hair's white. I'm gonna protect alpha, which means it's like clipping, but it stays on the layer it's on. It doesn't cover, it just colors any of the hair on it. But I'm gonna change your hair to white. So you see, I can shade pure white, but I can't really highlight it. So I recommend making white hair a slightly gray shade. Does that make sense? I hope so. And then you can change the shading colors to maybe a blue. Look at that. Real pretty stuff. Oh. See that? Since I wasn't originally doing a blue, it looks kind of weird. But yeah. Hopefully it helps a bit to see. Changing it to a purplish color, maybe a pink. White hair's real fun to play with because there's a lot of things you can do with it. Because so many things are darker than it. I don't know. It's cool. But yeah, you can just mess with the colors all you want. I recommend blues and like very light blues and very light pinks for any white hair. I don't typically do lots of white hair, unfortunately. So, I'm not as familiar with what's good for that kind of hair. But this is what I would do. But yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit. I know it's not like the best tutorial, but hopefully that helps you out, Leo. And hey, Shintani, am I saying your username correctly? Let me see. I personally, I just kind of see it, but I'll try to break it down. It's really difficult for me to explain some things. Let's see. Let's clean this up first. So this is, I'm just putting all my hair tutorial stuff in one folder. There we go. And I'm gonna make that invisible. Perfect. Okay. And good. I'm glad I'm pronouncing it correctly. And yes, Leo, definitely give strand brushes a try. For Rayla, I'd recommend using a very light gray as the base for her hair. And yeah, I don't know how else to help because I don't usually make white-haired characters, unfortunately. But anyway, Shintani, let me help you out. Let me draw a base first. Oh no, it's doing the thing where my... So sometimes I have a problem where the pressure for my drawing tablet doesn't pick up correctly. I think it's working now. There we go, now it's working. Perfect. It's lagging a bit, unfortunately. But let me see. I think I fixed it. And yeah, no, white hair is really fun. I unfortunately don't do it enough to fully know how to do it, but anyway. Let's do the typical, like, circle with lighting. Nah, well, that's too generic. Sorry, Shintani, I'm trying to figure out a way to get you some good art tips. Is it lagging? Is it So, drawing the head first. As I always do. And yeah, no, I used to do only traditional art, but I made the full move to digital, I guess. There's a cute little face. Then you make up a hairstyle. You can make it however you want. I'm pretty sure you're not asking how to make hairstyles. I just kind of draw each lock of hair. I make it pointed, unless it's like got a flat end like that. That one's a bit different, but let's make this kind of boyish short. Girls can have short hair too. I personally love wearing my hair short, but it's cute. I just break everything up into locks of hair, moving my pencil, pen, whatever, in whatever way is easiest. So let's figure out just an anime type character looking thing. Right, I can't get... no. At least I have an undo tool. When I work on paper, I have to erase everything that I mess up. So let's just say this is the basic hair. There we go. Simply just have the base, you get the hair, your face, whatever. Oh my gosh, that's asymmetrical. Let's pretend it's not that asymmetrical and imbalanced. What if I just add that? Oh, gross. Anyway, let's fill in the base color like I always do. There we go. Let's give this a nice mauve or purple. Lilac, maybe? Lavender? I'm not sure. I can't fully tell the difference between shades of purple. Anyway, now I'm gonna do what I typically do. I'm gonna just make a layer for the hair specifically. Since it sounds like you're doing pencil. And yeah, no mistakes are allowed on paper. I hate drawing on paper, but it's okay, it's okay. How about you tell me what color you want me to try this time? Because I'm a sucker for orange hair, ginger, whatever. That's my favorite. And yeah. I can do black hair, gray hair, because that's like pencil colors. Green color. Alright, let's get some green in here. So I'm just gonna make the hair a cool green. I rarely ever see anyone with green hair, so I'm not sure what shade of green would look best, but let's go with this green. I like this one. Very planty. And then you just kind of fill it in. So for you, since you're not doing digital art, I won't go into all the technical aspects of drawing and coloring hair. Digitally, I'll just go into how to know where to shade it. I don't know if this comes easily to everyone, but I like to think of each lock of hair, you know, big chunk of hair, like this here, like this here is like a lock of hair, this is a lock of hair, this is a lock of hair. Does that make sense? I like to think of them all as individual pieces of the hair. Dang, I am a terrible teacher. I hope I'm helping at all. But anyway, I think of them as individuals. Oh, and bye, Leo. Thank you so much. Yes, I see each bang individually. And I imagine it's three-dimensional. So, got that there. The hair base is done. Let me just kind of... So each bang of hair is its own individual bang. So kind of like that's one shape. It's just a bunch of bananas, honestly. That's one shape. That's one. That's one shape. Yeah. So I just make them a bunch of bananas in my head. I don't really outline them like this. And then I just kind of like... All of the bangs are kind of grouped together in my head. And I imagine they're like... I don't know. How do I explain it? I shade along these lines. I imagine that the sun is like... Where the light source for this is kind of... Oh, I don't want it clipped. The light source is kind of right here. So it bounces off of this area for all the hair. So that's where the lightest, whitest highlight's gonna be. If that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, I'll figure out a better way to explain it. But yeah, basically I see the line going kind of around just each bang. Each bang has the light kind of reflected a little differently, but it's always going to be kind of in that arc. Wherever the bang comes out the most in a 3D space. Yes, where there's the most light, I brush the area in white. For you, if you're using just like pencil and eraser, I'd shade lightly the whole hair and then erase in a line around the area that has the most light. You just make the lightest area lighter. Yeah, sorry. I'm really trying to break it down so it's easy. This is not my forte, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll airbrush the area that will have the most light. Look at that. And then I'll just mess around with it. So that already looks like it's popping out a little bit. And I'll just keep doing that with light layers. So the bigger the highlight, like the wider it is, the more dispersed it'll be. Like it won't seem as bright the further out from the center you go. Does that make sense? I wish I was a better teacher. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a word person either, but hopefully this is helping. But basically, wherever you have to imagine it in a 3D space. That's what I do. Each artist is different. That's just how I figure things out. And wherever the hair meets like the rest of the hair, you kind of shade that area. Like, so this lock, I'll show the locks again. You see, I just kind of shade where the lock meets the others. That way each lock of hair seems individual. Each bang is kind of separated by the dark edges. Because the areas that kind of dip away from the light or and meet the other parts of the bangs, they are darker. Wow, I'm so good at this. Really sorry, I am trying. Not every edge, but most of them. I'm glad you get the point at least. You don't have to darken all the edges, but most of them will do the trick. Parts that are like behind the face, like back here, need to be darkened, and under anything. There you go. And then of course you don't want the shading to be too abrupt or jagged, so you can always kind of make it softer. I very much appreciate that you came and asked me for help on stuff. Plus, I don't recognize your name, so it seems like you're a newcomer to my streams. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to get better at this. I am not I don't typically stream, if that makes sense. But yeah. Oh, and no, I actually just finished what I was doing whenever you came in. I'm really happy to give advice. I'm not the best with my words, but I like to help out. And oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you picked my stream out of the literal thousands of streams you can choose from. It means a lot to me. I mean, I don't know you, but it does mean a lot to me. I hope you can come back some other time too. Like, if you're ever up late again. How often do you draw, by the way? Because I know you're asking for advice, but I just like to get to know people who watch my streams, even if it's once. I actually really like this sketch, so I'm gonna... Ooh, that's cool. I actually started by copying the style of manga and anime when I was like, how old was I? I think I was in third, fourth, or fourth grade at least. Third or fourth grade when I started copying anime and manga style. It was my first love. It was like, I loved that style. And my aunt, she's an amazing artist. I always admired her. But yeah, that's what I started out with, and I don't think you can go wrong with it. But yeah, I actually mostly only draw humans, but... And hey, yeah, that's great. I started off with this terrible looking anime style when I was a kid, because my art sucked back then. I was a child. Sorry, I zoned out. But I was really bad at the style, but I kept practicing. I never mastered anime, but I have other art styles now because I started branching off of anime and copying my friends' styles, and eventually I just got really good at those things. And I don't know, I think as long as you've got a good starting point, you can always make your own style. It'll be cool. So I highly encourage you to keep going with that. I was jealous of all my friends when I was a kid because I feel like they always had the better art style, but they're still talented to this day. They still do all that stuff. Makes me happy because I'll sometimes see them online still doing their thing. I think they're still better than me, but that's okay. But yeah, basically, back to the hair thing. Wherever the hair you think would stick out, you lighten that area, and the part where it goes kind of away from the light, that's where you darken it. I'd say imagine it in a 3D space instead of as just a 2D image, and that'll help. And yes, good drawing does come with lots of practice. I've been practicing, how many years has it been? Oh my gosh. So I was like 10. So I've been practicing for like 10 years, 1 decade, about that long. And I'm still not a master. I've had a lot of times where I just stopped doing art, and it's terrible because I got burned out a lot. But now I'm back to it. I'm trying to stream, trying to get into this, and yeah. I really like this sketch. It's simple, but it's cute. I'm just shading it. But yeah, no, I am almost 20, and I've been drawing my whole life. I'm still not the best, but you know what? I don't need to be the best, even though I want to be. It's not always possible to be, like, the best. But it's still fun to do your best, if that makes sense. There we go. This isn't perfect, but it's fun, you know? I'm not the best, as I just said, but I do my best. And I don't think I'll ever be the best at art, but yeah. And hey, sketching is where it starts. I sketch. My finished my finished products are honestly real sketchy too. This is not perfect by any means. There's like colors that are leaking, essentially. But yeah. Anyway, let me actually... I'm gonna take a minute and I'm gonna be right back. But I'll show some of my other artwork maybe, and I can show you like how you don't have to make all your lines clean. You can keep them sketchy and still be finished. It's your art style, and if your art style is kind of a little messy, that's okay, you know? But yeah, detail drawings are so difficult. I try to find shortcuts around doing details. But anyway, I'll be right back. Yeah, let me figure out how to... There we go. I will be right back. 2 minutes max. Alright, I am back, and I love what you just said. I'll read it for people who are gonna be listening to the VOD or listening to the stream and not watching. But Shintani said, well, I guess from the moment you like what you're doing, this is the most important thing. Even if I see a lot of posts saying that an artist is always unhappy with the result he made, haha. I totally get that. I often just say, I hate this, I'm doing terrible, blah blah blah, while I'm doing my art. If you looked at my other stream VODs, that's what I do a lot of the time. It's not the healthiest, but I do actually like my work. I'm just hard on myself for no reason, which I discourage. I heavily discourage being extremely hard on yourself. It's not healthy. But I think it's always good to be satisfied with where you are in your work, but always strive to do the best you can. Like, strive for improvement, whatever. I am not a public speaker. My goodness, this is the worst motivational speaking thing ever. But anyway, there we go. Anyway, let me see if I can pull up any of my art I've finished. Let me see. Is this? That file does not exist. Here we go. Hey, there we go. So this is a character I drew recently. I drew this one about 3 days ago. Her name's Leanne. She's pretty cool. There you go. You can see her clearly now. This one took like 2.5 hours. I love her though. This one was really fun. But there's mistakes. Like this line right here, you can see. Partially red, partially black. It should be all of one color. And then there's little pieces like here and here where the color isn't fully filled in. And then this part of the pupil sticking out of the line art. It's a mess, but it's fine. More color sticking out. This whole sword, the line art, so messy. Everything's sticking out, everything's wrong. More color differences. More lines being messy. Like, you can see all of my mistakes if you look for them. But I'm satisfied with the piece. And she actually isn't my own character. She's a character in the D&D podcast I play in. It's my friend who plays her. I have art of my actual character I play, but I haven't made any recent ones, I'd say. Now let's see. Here's my work in progress. This one I'm working on. His name's Mardock. This is my husband's character, actually. And he is so difficult to draw. All of these extra layers are like his armor that I'm gonna draw on him. I always draw the body first and then the armor. So he's gonna have this fancy looking suit. But yeah, no. It's always gonna be messy for me. That's part of my whole thing, I guess. I'm out of breath. Because I'm talking way too much. But yeah, no, clothes are a pain. Clothes are they suck so much. I hate drawing clothes. I end up like just doodling the character and then I end up just with them in their body and I'm like, I'm done. I finished. I don't want to draw anymore. But anyway, for a character portrait like this, it actually takes me about 2.5 hours. But that's okay. It's really fun to do. I enjoy it. It just takes way too long in my opinion, but it's the typical amount of time for some art, I'd say. At least for me. I've spent 8 hours on a piece before. I've spent 20 minutes on a sketch before. Like, sometimes it doesn't take long, sometimes it takes a very long time. Oh, this is a comic I'm making of the characters from that podcast. And you can see, like, it's so sketchy. It's, like, not finished. It's sketched out real roughly. But it's fun. I'm looking for other stuff. And then, oh yeah, and then this is a character from a video game that's not allowed on Twitch, I don't think, but thank you. I'm just kind of showing, like, things. I don't know. I like showing off my art. Sorry. Also, if you want to go do something else, feel free to. I'm not gonna guilt anyone into staying on my stream. I am out of it today. But yeah. Close that. Anyway, the next part of my stream is gonna be me finishing this doodle. And hey, drawing a small story, that's awesome. I suck at that in my opinion, but I shouldn't be hard on myself like I am, because it's not nice to me. Anyway, yeah, no. I want to make a small comic. I've had so many ideas, but I've never gotten them off the ground, you know? I lose motivation, and I can't seem to find it sometimes, so I just kind of give up on making something I really want to. Does that make sense? It's not fun, but it happens, you know? But anyway, let me get to this. Overshirt. Now I need to sketch out this guy's armor, because that's what's next. Once I'm done sketching out the armor, I'll be able to color it, and it should be easier. And hey, go for it. I wish you luck on shading hair. It can be difficult, but you know what? You've got this. I think you'll do great. I myself am just drawing clothes. Goodness gracious, why can't I get this one line? There we go. Good enough. Pants are beneath. Hello, Raise360. How are you doing? I'm just kind of finishing up some doodles here. Well, finishing a part of a project. It's not really a doodle, but yeah, how are you doing? Trying to get this darn shirt done. Clothing has never been my strong suit when it comes to any of this. But yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. It's real fun to just draw like this. Alright. The undershirt's done, the overshirt's done, and the pants are done, leaving only the cape left. Also, if anyone wants more advice or anything, go ahead and ask. I am happy to. Happy to answer, I mean. Oh, my shoulders are starting to hurt. But yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. But that's all good. Alright, looks like I finished the clothing outline. Woo! That took way too much time. Anyway, now it's time to go through and erase any overlapping lines. Yay. I really should have labeled these. The line art is finished. Oh man. Sorry I haven't been talking much. I just got really in the zone. Quickly save. Go. Oh boy, almost done with him. And that's okay. Sometimes it's hard to get down, especially when you're getting advice from someone over the internet. I didn't teach how to shade hair in the best way. But if you're just sketching with just pencil, I highly recommend, like, just making it gray and then erasing the parts that are highlighted. And when I say highlighted, I mean the ones with the most light. You don't have to go full white either. I do that personally because that's part of my style, but yeah. Ooh, colored sketches are good though. So no shame in that. And yeah, grayscale can be difficult. It's kind of its own technique, honestly. I saw a bunch of people do this challenge where they put their computer or whatever they color in color on, like digitally, into a grayscale, because there's options for colorblind people to make their computer show like less color, more color, whatever. And I've seen artists turn on grayscale and get a random palette from online and see if it looks good. Like, it's pretty cool. I personally really like that. the thing is, they have no idea what they're getting. So it turns out real fun or real ugly. I did it once before and it turned out pretty cool. Also, my recommendation for black hair, I recommend using purple highlights. I don't know why, but it makes it look mwah, sexy. I'm half kidding. But I really like purple highlights on black hair. I just really like purple highlights. The man I'm drawing is a huge menace to society. I love him though. Black hair and white hair are definitely difficult to shade, because one is like the pure light and one is the pure dark, and you gotta find a way to balance it, you know? And to do that, I highly recommend just making the entire thing kind of black. Alright, finished up that hair. That was pretty simple. Hello, Vucky ABX. And yeah, the challenge on TikTok's pretty cool. But how are you doing? Sorry, I just now saw your comment. Or your chat, whatever you want to call it, message. How are you doing? I do appreciate you coming into my stream, just checking out what's going on. I was given some art advice, and now I'm just finishing up a project. No, I don't want to open Discord! Why'd I click that? Y'all can't see it when I mess up like that, but... a lot of the time I keep, like, pressing the wrong thing. It's funny, though. happy a lot of people are starting to like kind of come in and see my streams. It's been happening a lot more since I've been streaming consistently. I guess I gotta keep it up, huh? Don't want to disappoint anyone after all. Y'all are real supportive, just coming in, popping in, saying hello, all that. Means a lot to me, honestly. Oh, I gotta go for just a minute, but I'll be right back, okay? Yeah, I'll be right back. I have returned. Sorry about that. Alrighty. Now, where was I? Yes, so I am doing the cape now. Ooh. I'm starting to lose steam, but once I finish the clothes, I think I'll back to like my groove. Ooh, I am, well, are you asking what country or like town? Because I can say quite a bit. But I am from Texas, and that's the most I'll put out there. But Texas in the United States of America, yeehaw. But when I'm in character, well, no, I'm not in character. Doesn't matter. Sometimes I'll be in character when I stream. I haven't gotten to that point yet, unfortunately, but yeah. But yeah, Texas is where I am. Let me up my mic. Yes, it's evening right now here where I. You mentioned that you were trying to sleep but you can't, so I imagine you're a bit more east than I am. France! Wow, that's awesome! I never imagined I'd have someone from France watching my stuff. Dang. Thank you for showing up. I actually haven't been to France before. I used to live in Germany because my father was in the military, so we moved around a lot. But that's the closest to France I've been. No, I haven't eaten a croissant from France, unfortunately. I've had croissants from the grocery store here in the US, but I don't think that's what you're talking about. I love foods from other countries so much. I really hope I can go, like, visit new places. Germany had great food, I remember that much. I was only about 3 when I lived there, but oh, it was great. How do you pronounce croissant? Like, I've always heard it croissant, but that's because I'm in the USA, and that's how I've always heard it. But how do you say it? Because you're from France, you know how to say it. I bet it's actually kind of funny for you to hear Americans pronounce French words. Because, like, we mess up all the words. We mess up... See, I just messed up, but, dang, I don't know how to tell in chat. I need to figure out how to say croissant for you. Darn. But anyway, Americans mess up their own language. I mess up speaking English all the time. Yikes. I mess up speaking English all the time on stream too, so like, I'm sure you could like make a compilation of all the times I mess up English words, and I'm a native English speaker, so. Sorry, I have a layer or an overlay to look for. Oh, I can't tell what you said. Oh, it censors links, sorry. Oh, my husband just got home. Hi, hun, I'm streaming.
Still streaming?
Yeah.
Fun times. Dude, drinks. Oh.
Shh. I eat lots of drink. I drink a lot of stuff.
You're adorable, Obi.
Alright, I love you. Sorry, my husband just came home, so I shall be leaving soon, but I'm gonna finish up a few of these parts. Gotta spend time with the husband. I love him though, so it's fun. But anyway, I shall look up how to pronounce croissant. And then next stream I'll try to say it right. If I see you in chat, okay? I do, however, have to go. So it looks like I won't be finishing this one on stream, but I'll show it off sometime. Anyway, I do have to head off, but thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you all for visiting and chatting and all of that. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great evening, day, whatever. And yeah, goodbye!